I think at this stage, it's almost as if these guys, like, Charlie, either they don't respect us, or the moment they get into, certain positions, they voted into office, it's like, I really don't know how to describe this, but for me, it's sad. But again, it's also, I also perceive it as they don't know what they're talking about. I mean, a personality like this really doesn't know what he's talking about. And in fact, before I begin this whole thing, I would want to make this disclaimer that I don't speak for any political party. Like, at this stage, I'm dead and done with everybody to do with MPP and DC. Like, Charlie, already a lot of I've been way disappointed, and so I speak from the standpoint of a citizen of the country of Ghana, and that's it. That's just it. But it saddens my heart to hear, such comments and such. I don't know how and what he means by it. Baumia is the only person who can do this, who can do that. This is not to discredit or to say, like, these things are not possible, okay? But then, it just brings me to my discussion today, or to my video today, okay? Today I want to talk about EVs, or electric vehicles, okay? I'm going to try to just, limit it to how it's significant, especially on the Ghanaian economy, and then, the pros, the cons, and what I think we could be doing if it comes to electric vehicles. Other than that, with what this man is spewing out, I don't think he knows what he's talking about. The campaign season is here again, and we're bound to hear a lot more of these promises, and without like, it hasn't been thought through. That's what I see. Go pick MPP's 2016 manifesto, pick their 2020. There's nothing in it that has been achieved. All they're going to propagate and say is like, okay, free SHS, and even that, it was put out there before they came to sit down to, like, really do, try to work it out, or try to get it working. And so, free education is good. Like, free education is the best thing. I mean, countries are doing it. It's being done outside elsewhere. It's working for them. Okay, so why can't it work for us? It should be able to work for us. But the thing is, they saw it's being done somewhere. We didn't put in structures to get this thing working, and that's why we are stuck where we are. That's why there's a lot of, there's stealing, there's corruption inside free SHS, and I mean, let's talk about EVs. Let's talk about EVs, okay? So today I'm going to talk about, like, really EVs, and that's just like electric vehicles, and how viable it is in an economy like Ghana or Africa as a whole. I know there's been a lot of some companies or some startups that have started these whole electric vehicles or electric mobilities, okay? They've seen the likes of these motorbikes that is being run. I'm not too sure the company, but then there's a lot more people who are giving it a try, putting it, like, some educational institutions who are like Ashasi, and then I've seen is it all nations university as well, and then this university at Atomic, what's the name, these guys are all putting in some efforts, okay, into bringing electric vehicles onto our roads, okay, or making it accessible to people. But then, electric vehicles on the whole, are they good or not? My position is that electric vehicles, like, Charlie, they're good in every essence, okay, of it being good. In that it's environmentally friendly, it has a lot of economic advantages, okay, especially when it comes to energy dependency. So then now we don't have to depend solely on, our traditional combustion engines and all that comes with it, okay. If it comes to pollution, and you get to Accra, the old Accra station, Charlie, there's still engines running, 219 whatever, 70s engines still running till this day, and all of these vehicles are on our road and causing a lot of them have worn out, okay, not being properly maintained, and these vehicles are still running. And so if it comes to electric vehicles and safety and fuel consumption and all of the energy efficiency, reduce the noise pollution, the incentives that government is bound to put on all of these things, and then the long-term savings, okay, is actually what you're looking at in that, Charlie, compared to charging your vehicles as compared to fueling on the long span. You realize that, Charlie, you're saving a lot when it comes to fuel, with fuel price hikes going up every single day. Charlie, EVs, they're comfortable sitting in them, enjoying them. I've been in an electric vehicle and it's like, Charlie, you're flying in the wing. It's really comfortable, okay, if it comes to electric vehicles. But the problem is, are we ready as a country? Is Ghana ready for electric vehicles? I don't think we are ready. I don't think, and it's even to say that, like, in the next let's say the next, give ourselves the next 5-10 years, I can bet you for a fact that the next 5 years Africa will not be, well, Africa could be, some other countries are gearing, like, even Nigeria is doing, Nigeria is like even better striding towards, they're way ahead of the game if it comes to electric vehicles, other than Ghana. There are some other African countries as well who are like, really spearheading this challenge, okay. But then if it comes to Ghana, I can bet you, and to hear it from the people who are speaking, the people who want to get it done, I can bet you that in the next 5 years we will not even be there. And I say this on the grounds that of like what has been done before, what has been said before, and what is bound to happen. That's the only argument I'm going to base, my how do you call it? That's the only argument I'm going to raise here, okay. I'm going to look at let's look at the cons, okay, when it comes to electric vehicles. Now, first of all is the almighty charging infrastructure. Do we have the prospects, even like, has it even been done? Has there even been prospects of, like, getting a better electrical grid that works 24 hours straight, 7 days a week, 365 days in a single year, that you'd say you're going to run electrical vehicles on our roads? That isn't possible. It hasn't been done. I haven't seen any prospects. I haven't seen any projections that tells us that, Charlie, in the next 2-3 years, Ghana would be here. And the thing is, you look at what has been done in history and you ask yourself, Charlie, would it be done? Can it be done? A whole motorway has still not been done. Constructed back in 19 whatever has still not been done. So what's the prospect, that what's the guarantee that, oh yeah, if they say you're going to do this, it's going to be done within what range? You get me? Like, Charlie, I don't see it happening. It is not going to happen, and I don't see it happening, at least not in the next 2-3 years. And so it is what it is, okay. Again, the range limitations, okay, coupled with the infrastructure is the range limitations. So far, electric vehicles, I think the longest range, I think, ranges between 400 and 500 miles, which I wouldn't bring that to Ghana. I can't travel on an electric vehicle. Kantanka has, I haven't really studied Kantanka's electric, those mini cars, electric vehicles, and how long they can go. And if anything is to Dubai, if I lived in Ibri or I lived in Accra and drove all the way to where Dodowa, to Kaswa, to all of these distances that you would have to do, or if you're running, you run around errands in the center part of Accra on an electric vehicle. During the day, you want to keep on air conditioning, you want to keep on, on a hot day, you want to keep on air conditioning, you want to keep on all of these gadgets running these are all going to be running on batteries. And how sustainable is this? You can't run an electric vehicle in Accra. I don't think it's going to be viable, not at this stage, because the infrastructure for running such vehicles is just not there. And the thing is, it's not that it won't be there. The prospects of it even happening, the foundations of setting, those things into motion or getting those things done, it's not even been put forward. It's not there. No institutions doing this. No government agencies prospecting this and putting this into action. Knowing how far we have come as a society, knowing how far where we have come from, where we're heading, the competition within which we are in. You get me? That's the basis I place my argument. Again, battery concerns, battery degradation over the time. The performance of batteries in electric vehicles may degrade, affecting range and efficiency. Now, electric vehicles will tend like take taxi drivers who decide to go on decide to drive electric vehicles. A lot of them run like more than half a day, more than 12 hours a day. That is not sustainable. It means your batteries are going to die within a short amount of period, and it means replacement constantly. How viable is this? What's the market for battery production? Are we going to be importing batteries as of now? There's another thing, let me chip in, is when it comes to this EV, the reason I haven't really supported electric vehicles, is the fact that production of batteries is being done outside of the country, outside of Africa, whereas all of the raw materials is being sourced from here. Cobalt, the lithiums is all being sourced from here. And recently, yes, Ghana has given certain licenses to outside companies with no stake of us, virtually no stake of us in all of these industries. And gradually, we're going to start building an electric, a battery industry in other countries other than where the raw materials are going to be sourced. And so then, what's the template? What's been the structure? We are already selling off resources even before we start production, or we think about starting off production. We're not doing all of these things, and yet we think that we're going to do electric vehicles. Why not start these productions here? Create the foundations, the platforms, the frameworks, the policy frameworks to allow, startups, to allow businesses here, give them incentives, give people the right of way to start working out all of these things, give academicians, the tech guys there, all nations, the Kuforidia technical guys, give us the incentives, to kickstart, allow us, the opportunities, give us the land, in fact concessions, some kind of an agreement that allows us the concessions to be able to start working out these things, to start producing the batteries even here, and also exporting the batteries. At least even if we're not going to melt, the body, the aluminium, the other parts of the the car tires, the other parts of the electrical vehicles are not going to be manufactured here. At least the battery should be manufactured here. It is in the long run going to be like the number one resource. Like electric taxis are coming in, flying cars are coming in. China's already done this. Flying cars are coming in, electric planes are coming in. Everything electric is coming in now. And at a point, a lot of economies are going to be solely dependent on electric. And so why not we start putting in a lot of resources into the battery production, for which we have the resources here, than we allowing all of these things to go out into some other economy. Why not put it here? And so if all of these things, the basic things are not being done, we shouldn't start projecting and telling ourselves, unless it's the case that Charlie, we are going to be sourcing and buying electric vehicles from outside. And so that's the mindset. The procurement economy is what we're still in. It's just sad. but I'm praying that this thing doesn't get that far. Like Charlie, for once, Africa, let's wake up. Like Ghana, let's wake up. Let's wake up. Let's wake up. Yes, we know the struggles, we know the challenges that there is, but let's wake up. Let's wake up and love our own. No matter what, let's love our own and keep our businesses and grow our industries. It is possible. It is possible, and you guys make it possible. Anyway, let me talk about another con. Okay, is consumer awareness. There's a lot of education that needs to get into this, okay, regarding consumer awareness. The lack of awareness, many consumers may be unfamiliar with electric vehicles and their benefits. Yes, so then they require education. Okay, the supply chain, and exactly just what I was saying, the supply chain dependency. The production of electric vehicles relies solely on raw materials, and disruptions in the supply chain may cause an impact in availability. A lot of the supply chains comes from Africa, and for us, this is like the time for us to capitalize on these things, and rather than start thinking, yeah, every guy is going to get it from where. Okay, let's build the let's build the industries here. Tell us that we're going to build them from here. Don't tell us that you're going to buy them and give it to people to cars. We're going to buy a cars from other people. Yeah, it's a competition out there, but I still think that it's possible for us to get this thing done. Okay, this is also some considerations I think we might want to consider if really we want to get this thing going. Okay, we want to run an electric vehicle, economy as well. These are the things we need to consider. First of all is the charging infrastructure. Without a proper charging infrastructure, you don't have an electric vehicle business or an electric vehicle economy. Without the electric or proper infrastructure, there's no way this thing is ever going to run. I won't want to drive or jeopardize my life, putting my life into an electric vehicle, going to say a graduation in Pram, or going for a meeting, going for traveling all the way to Pram, Afienya, Akosombo, coming back late in the night, and then I'm off. There's no charging port, there's no charging infrastructure. The grid just doesn't support it. Okay, first of all, you're even thinking about security. Street lights cannot be maintained. The government cannot maintain or run an effective street light system. How are we going to be able to run how do you call it? How are we going to be able to run a charging and effective charging grid system? Okay. Again, government policies obviously is going to be like number one. Okay, putting policies and encourage electric vehicle adaptation, such as tax credit, subsidies, and reduced import duties. If really this government is going to get this thing to work for us, policies will need to be put into, policymakers would have to get to work. Okay, put in the right frameworks, the right laws, okay, that guide and get electric vehicles moving within an economy. And again, insurance as well. Also is education and awareness, the workforce training. People will need to be skilled and trained properly to be able to adapt first of all, and then acquire the necessary the necessary skills to be able to. So yeah, again, workforce trainings, skills development. People will need to be trained with programs or EV programs. Institutions would have to also get up and running, developing programs or academic so workforce training is another thing that we would have to look at. Okay, skills development, invest in training programs to develop a skilled workforce capable of maintaining and repairing electric vehicles. Again, the battery recycling infrastructure, develop a recycling infrastructure for batteries to address. Develop recycle infrastructure for batteries to address environmental concerns related to their disposal. Already we can't even maintain our whole, like Charlie, you see the trash behind the Christ Temple Church going towards Kolebu. See the trash that's been mounted there. We can't even manage our own filth, our own garbage and trash, let alone poisonous and harmful substance like batteries, where are we going to dump them? Where are they going to end up in? Okay, like it's not just standing on stage and talking big and talking like, Charlie, tell us, just tell us the basics, the infrastructure that has been done or what is going to be done. Don't tell us that you are going to do this. You're going to tell us that, Charlie, these things have been put in place for this to happen. Don't tell me that you're going to do it so that we just dream. We don't want to be dream anymore. Okay, tell us that this has been done already for this to be done. Okay, the foundation is being built. This person, this agency is being built. This agency has been built or set up to carry out this, and so then we know that, okay, there's something being done. There's something in the pipeline that is taking place. Okay, again, the regulatory framework, okay, that needs to be established to enforce regulations that support electric vehicles and adoption, such as emission standards and vehicle efficiency targets and all of that. And then finally, I would want to end with this. If this is going to be a success, it is a public-private partnership. The government would have to incentivize like private companies. There's no way at this stage, looking at where we've come from, there's no way. I don't believe the government is going to be able to do this. All we need is a framework. All we need is the platform, the incentives, the right working conditions, okay, by the government, the right policies that support our own. Okay, this is the only thing that private companies need from government. The right policies to support our very own production lines, our very own natural resources. We have them, and it needs to be supported and backed by government. We don't need any foreign there's going to be collaborations and all of that, but then it should benefit us more. It should benefit us more because we own it, and so we should be able to have the upper hand when it comes to an industry like this. We shouldn't just sell everything out and say, Charlie, anyway, let me end my rant here. But then, yeah, that's it for EVs. It is possible to run an EV economy. Again, what I would add to this is the fact that I think that electric vehicles should be a market that should be allowed to play out on its own without any influence or whatsoever, without any foreign influence or whatsoever. Like, Charlie, allow those who would want to run, a fuel economy to run, and then allow those who choose to ride an electric vehicles, because electric vehicles can't, at this point, they can't save every part of the economy. I don't think tutorial or commercial drivers would want to run electric vehicles. I don't think taxi drivers want to run electric vehicles. Let the private people who choose to run electric vehicles, those who live within Accra, to run on electric vehicles, okay, but then leave the others who want to do the long hauls, the tractors, the long vehicles, the trucks. Let them run on their fuel, which is very efficient and economical for them if they choose to. Let the market play out as to how